I'm gonna post a lot of stuff on the website too, some of the articles that I'm finding and reading. I just haven't had a chance to do that, and I'm kind of waiting for this challenge to be over. And maybe we can talk just about this challenge, commit not to sit, which was hard for everyone, I think.
I'm not gonna lie, this was actually pretty easy. I mean, you've seen my room. It's
A
not
lab,
teacher
right.
friendly. So for me, it was just like, well, I don't really have a computer that I work at during the day anyways. It's like in a back stock room. So I'm constantly just out and around the kids, and my classroom is really long. So I always feel like I have to walk up and down more so the kids in the back are not falling asleep, etc. So yeah, this one, I mean, it was just trying to get, I don't know, it was just, okay.
You're used to that.
Yeah, I
You're
was used to it. So thank you for this challenge.
Yeah.
'Cause it was easy.
How about from somebody that was harder?
Yeah.
I'll say,
Well, for me, I was gonna say, for me it was harder because like I literally at the last meeting, I fell that day and I twisted my ankle. So for at least 2 weeks, I literally couldn't do anything other than sit behind my desk. And it's still, some days are better than others, and it's still taking a while to heal. But overall, I thought it wasn't. I mean, I was still able to get in front of my desk, and it wasn't that bad. You know, not being behind the desk, just having to ignore all the other distractions and just kind of being out there kind of also made me get through my lessons a little bit faster. So I thought it was a good challenge to have.
well, Ibarra liked to call me out because on the video, I was sitting. So his comment on it was, don't sit. But I was sitting with the students.
No, is that what it was? What I say that?
Oh, I'm joking, but I was like, yeah, because what I didn't like to was I felt like I was hovering all the time, like, ugh. So I started like picking a different table in our classroom. There's set groups, so I started picking a table every 15 minutes, and I would move. And I saw a lot more when students were wasting time or on their phones than I probably would have if I had been at my computer doing something, or even at a a different desk. So just sitting with them, and really, I mean, you get to know them too. If you're sitting with them while they're working, you get to see personalities and just kind of inside their brain than you would just walking around. So I kind of like that.
And hovering over their Snapchats.
Yeah, trying to get in their
Say this,
selfies.
Go back. I found that too. I guess it wasn't called don't sit, but that's how I took it. But I did sit in desks next to them. I did sit on the desk next to them. I just wasn't near my area.
Right.
And if I did go my area, I was standing, which I made up. I put a bunch of cardboard down so my feet wouldn't hurt, because I don't have like a pad, because it was like $20 and the cardboard was free. I just found them in the room.
That's not good.
So that kind of saved my back and stuff. But I think they do, like you said, you get to know the kids a little more, especially just being right there with them.
I decided also not to sit at all, and I was very tired by the end of the day, but I felt like I definitely got to know the kids and just be on top of them a little bit more, which, yeah, if you're sitting at your desk, they're so sneaky, and you can't see them, and yeah, they were just way more alert and sitting up and doing their work. And I had a couple of kids that were cheerleaders for me, and they would say, you know, if the bell was about to ring, like, quick, get up, Miss Mackin. I'm like, oh yeah, and I'd quick stand up, and the bell would ring, and I'd be just in time. And then yesterday, in my English class, I did a vocabulary activity at my small table, and it was on whiteboards, and I called a bunch of kids over, and I was on my chair, but I was with kids, and that was the first time I did that, sorry. And I had a student look over at me, she was like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm gonna sit down for this activity. It's okay, I'm with you guys, I'm sitting with you guys. But you're not supposed to sit. She was like heartbroken, her face just fell, and I explained to her that I'm allowed to sit with them, but I just chose not to, and just for this activity. She kind of looked like I was lying. Like she had that face, like she didn't trust me.
Prove it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a pie when you're on your diet, and they're like, you're like, but it's pumpkin.
So it was nice to see that they were so supportive.
initially, way the boots room is set up, I had the same like plus for like Kim did, where with the boots class you're constantly on your feet and you're moving around. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be easy. But then as soon as I headed over to the Avid class, where it's like they're doing certain assignments, and same thing, what Crystal was saying, I felt like I was in their space. So I was like, okay, what can I do? And then after hearing from other people, they're like, well, why don't you sit with them? Or I think Kim has a chair that she moves around. I was like, that is an awesome idea. So I started sitting with a few of them, and they're kind of looking, but then eventually they like it, so it worked out. But my feet did hurt, like absolutely, I was in pain. I was like, tennis shoes? I just need a pair of shoes.
True, like my lower back. You're standing. Anybody else?
There were a few days where I was like, maybe I should just wear flats. But I stuck through it. And so usually when I do like my PowerPoint lectures, I'm in the back of the room with my clicker. I'm always there. And so for the most part, I'm rarely at my desk. Like when they're taking tests or they're doing individual work, then I'll be at my desk grading or on my computer and stuff. But with this challenge, I couldn't be there. So the days that they're taking tests or doing individual work, I would question like, well, what if, okay, so I'll go sit next to them, or I'll just, sit in the back of the room and watch them take tests and like walk around and stuff. It was a little weird not to be at the desk. But it's really nice because I picked up this cool activity where when I have like a PowerPoint lecture, I would say, who wants to sit at my desk? And so instead of having it be empty, I would offer it to any students. And so they would like fight for it to go sit at my desk, and they'll be my clicker and they'll play the video or whatever that I have on my PowerPoint. So it turns into like a challenge or like a competition for them on who would like ask me first, and then they would get to sit at my desk. So that's cool.
I actually did something similar with my chair. I just rolled it out and rolled it over to the round table and asked them. I didn't actually ask them. I gave it to the student with the highest grade, so I would check that. But it was kind of funny because certain classes loved the idea and were like, oh, look at the chair. And I told them they could bring a friend and they could go sit at the side table. But I had some periods that they wanted nothing to do with the chair. They had the highest grade and they're like, no, I'm good. I was like, but it's a comfy rolly chair. It's a lot of fun. And they wanted nothing to do with it. So
I actually like it now. I think now, like every time I do PowerPoint, I just don't even want to sit at my desk. I'll just have a kid just click away. I'll just stand there and like say, okay, next slide, please. Play the video. So I'll continue.
And I'd be willing to bet that student who's behind your desk is going to be more engaged because they're following along and waiting for the cue. I like that idea a lot, especially maybe some of your kids that have attention deficit disorder. That might be ones that it's random. Oh, you just happen to got called up, especially in important situations.
I don't think it's fair for me to speak because I'm only on my feet for 3 periods of the student teacher, so it's not a level playing field here. I just found I was probably on my feet 96% of the time.
96%.
That's Newton, right? Saw some diminishing returns when the kids were writing a essay and for the whole period, and I felt like if I was standing up, I was just making them more nervous. So, and my back felt, as you mentioned, Crystal. I probably should rest my back, instead. It might help me later in the day. So, but yeah, generally, I think if you're out there among the students, it's better. I've been working with my student teacher on that too, because at first she was in the back of the class by the desk with the computer, manipulating the computer, whatever she needed to do. Need to be out there more. So, 3 periods a week. It's very doable.
I will say that one funny story where I could not be as engaged with the students is so in my classroom it's long. I don't have a teacher computer. I have a lab station where I have like the, what is it called? Sure. What? Pole ball, thank you. It's hooked up to a student computer, so I have to work from there. So usually with my lectures, it's going through and for whatever reason, that computer just died. It just was like not having internet issues. So I had to connect the pole vault to my computer in the back storage room. And so I wasn't that with the students because I'd be like, okay. I mean, I'm still kind of with them, but I'm like, where is it? Because I had never turned on this computer. It's like a brand new computer, but I'm never back there. And so it didn't have like the mirroring issue. Like I had to push it off to the side, or I didn't know how to get so I can see it on my screen. So this screen's blank. It's projecting for the classroom in the front, and I was just like, where's the arrow? Is it in the right place? I wanted to show a video here. That was like the only issue I had. Okay, it's there. Okay, now I'm gonna come back outside.
That would be dangerous.
All right, well, poor Melissa.
It's just not
Poor
working.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Please read the blogs again I think this is just as valuable as the blogs, so no one's watching, no one is, I really do. I feel like we can just get here and talk about it. I do love reading the blogs. Hopefully you guys are reading it. Feel free to comment. Share it on Facebook. Again, part of that is just that we're sharing to other professionals that want to follow along. We have some followers, so that's kind of fun. And some schools are, like Jessica's old school, they're doing their own teacher challenge, and so it is cool. We're doing some good stuff. Gratitude project. All right. So I think Kim, this was your idea, and I just love it. And there's so much data coming out right now, and so much science.
And well, you know what? Even on Facebook, you've been seeing, I don't know, just post for like November, they're just putting things that they're thankful for.
Right.
Day 10, thankful for this. So it is a huge project, and I think it can be beneficial to us. When I think about this, there's several things that come to mind. One is just us trying to find one thing we're grateful or thankful for per period, so that they know, like, even if it's just calling out an individual student, I'm so thankful that we have Vincent's sense of humor in this classroom, and bringing that up and just showing off all the positives that happen on the daily.
I love that. Anybody else have? I was thinking, how could the student, like I was thinking about my students, could we do something? Could they write a little note every day and stick it in a jar? Could they, could I have them, post it or do something where they're expressing it in some way? But I was thinking same thing, daily, something not, or could maybe they start a Google Doc and they enter their daily, whatever they're grateful for, and that at the very end of the 30 days they have a list, and then they keep that, or, I was thinking of a lot of ideas like that. I just grabbed the Forbes article because I thought it was just kind of general, but there's a lot of scientific research. I was thinking, could we do Socratic, and Avid, could we have them read a scientific article and then do a Socratic seminar? So even
Would you
alongside
do that at the beginning or at the end? Like now that
Right.
we've actually gone through it.
Right. But alongside with something daily, but then to layer
Right.
it, why are we doing it? Maybe we visit that kind of stuff too.
See, I had the idea of the daily activity, and then I wanted to do something like the last day or two where they pick someone to write a thank you letter to that they know, maybe someone that they'd like to acknowledge. Because I think that goes along with it. And I always love getting the cards in my mailbox from the students, and that's such a simple thing, but we I'm sorry. Someday. We all do, right? I don't know what teacher does it, but they put those little 3x5 cards in there. And I just think it's such a powerful thing, and if you get kids to extend that, it always feels good. So it's a good way to go.
Good combination to go into winter break too.
Yeah. So what are the projects that we've done in the past?
I haven't,
Or
we haven't
we
done
just-
it. This is new to this
Last year we
group.
did community service.
Yeah, last year we did,
community
which
service.
I'm doing now,
This was
but,
as a thankful city. What's the real
Well,
name?
that may lead
Grateful.
into community service.
Right.
All the things that you're thankful for, now let's give back to the community,
Yeah.
so.
gratitude project, or, yeah, gratitude. That's what I think we're,
Gratitude.
that's our button, right, Jesus? Gratitude project? And it's, so really, this would be one that I'd love for you to blog about, like, once you kind of decide what you're doing, like, just post, our class is doing the gratitude, or even email us if you're, just let us know kind of what your exact project is, because it just helps generate ideas, just even listening to a few ideas. It's like, okay, my wheels turn better when I hear other people's ideas.
Is this something that we would do with many of our classes, or what's realistic?
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on Canvas and I'm gonna make a discussion forum, and every Tuesday, they have to blog into it or log into it, and they have to write who or what they did that was grateful and or thankful and etc. And on Wednesday, I'm gonna put it on the board and we're gonna look over it and read over it for the next 3 weeks is the month or 4 weeks. So that way, each person quietly they can post it. Because in class, if I ask who did something, I don't think they're gonna raise their hand. There's gonna be the same 5. And having the online class, everyone thinks like, oh, no one's gonna do any work. These kids open up online like no other. And for them just to go all out, I think that's my first approach. If it doesn't work for the first week, then I might scratch it. But I think that's the best way for all students to have the opportunity to report. And I mean, the Google form will work, but at the same time, they could see other kids' ideas and maybe go with that. And I'm gonna make it a reward system. So, just off the top of my head.
To answer it, it's really up to you. If you want to just do one period because that's manageable, or, and if you want to do all of your sections, again, that's the cool part about the challenge, I think, is that we all kind of make it our own, and which proves that you can take any strategy or idea and really own it and make it your own and do what works for you to make that challenge work for you, and so that you can do it with fidelity. Because you hate to say, I'm going to do all the classes when that's just not, you're not capable. Like, make it something that you can do and follow through and really.
I'm gonna do it with all my classes.
Your one class. All right.
Should cut down a little.
Yeah, it's just
You know what I was thinking I could do like the balloon one that we did for Avid, where like they put it in a Post-it and we put it in the balloon and then like pop the balloon or something like that. Like just what are you thankful for, and then we pop the balloon. Oh, how many share this?
You pop a balloon.
Like put it in a Post-it, stick it in a balloon, and then they blow it up, and then you pop them up throughout the days
week, yeah.
or weeks.
Makes the room look really cool too. 'Cause we don't have
It
Because then you
does.
have
But
to-
they start deflating
Yeah.
eventually.
They look good.
Then they
right?
look pathetic.
Like, let's pop this one because it's deflated.
According to this thing, it says being grateful really helps and strengthens. I actually read the whole thing right now. I'm impressed with myself. I've
Wow.
never read any
We're
article.
impressed.
Wow,
We didn't know you
wow.
could read.
Most time they
Did
give
you
them,
give
I'm
any
like,
annotations though?
Yeah.
I could, but most time when I get them in meetings, there's like football plays all over it, but season's over. I'm gonna do it with all of them. I have 180 students. If 180 students talk to 2 students, that's a lot more.
Good math.
Times 3. It's like 400 something, maybe 600.
600.
And I just noticed today our goal for the cans is 2,500. We have more than 2,500 students. If each student brought 1 can, they're £1 each. We'd meet the goal. How many is each student going to bring it? No. But I mean, if my 180 all, at least if they lie, or if they feel guilty, because I'll make them feel guilty, if they at least talk to 1 or 2 people or persons, then what is that? 18 times 3? 50, 400, 540 students will be, or people will be talked to in a gratitude type of way. Thank you. Something simple. I don't know. I think all of them, whether it's manageable or it's overwhelming or not, Wednesday will be perfect. So throw them up there.
It starts when we get back from break. So commit not to sit officially ends on Friday. So right when we get back from break. So it gives you a break to think about it and be thankful. And I am very thankful to you guys. You guys inspire me, and I know you're at everything. So go to your class.